To reiterate, these are improvs. What started this was an improv thought, starting with one of the conditions of these three nearly identical blue stick figures. And the premise for the improv is, let's put up a microwave tower, and let's put up another microwave tower, because there's more than one kind of Chevy Verizon OnStar, and they don't bump into each other that often that I know of. People don't start up their Impala and it says, "Can you hear me from here?" If they fine-tune their Impala, maybe their neighbors can't, or if they've done a special job with their Impala, maybe the neighbors have no choice. At any rate, here's all these microwaves. We live in a great big microwave bath. Lucky us. So, here's a person who has a job, and we'll give them a nice yellow hat. Say they're, that's the kind of job they got. Gets them a yellow hat. Okay, and this person over here is unemployed and they got a baseball hat on. Now, are these microwaves treating these people the same? Well, who can tell? Is this person with the baseball hat who feels unemployed affected by the microwaves? Yay or nay? Probably varies. There's plenty of unemployed people for the microwaves to make feel however they might feel. Now, of course, if the guy with the baseball hat has got a TV set, the microwaves can put a show on the TV set, probably via cable or satellite, which means up here, of course, you got an all-seeing, all-knowing, super friendly, always out there to look out for your best interest satellite. And we're not the only country to make satellites anymore, of course. Soviets were the first up there. More on how the Soviet Union doesn't exist anymore because of one meeting in Chesstown, rink-ya-dink. But that's another story. Now, okay, so we've got unemployed person and employed person and all these microwaves. And I would suggest there's a bazillion different reasons why the microwaves specifically don't affect them any differently. But there are reasons why they might. And now this nearly identical blue stick figure over here who is yet to have a hat is going to get a hat about a realm I know very little about nowadays. This hat is a military hat. And all I know about the military, about the most I learned, was I watched a news show, one of the news shows, the big three, had 2 or 3 hour, about 5 weeks ago, they had 3 hours that showed footage from Afghanistan, mostly, I believe, but mostly. And I got about as clear an idea of what a day in Afghanistan is like for combat people. And it was pretty much what I expected. So I was somewhat relieved that it didn't look weirder. And what it looked like to me was it looked like insofar as what you saw was what you got, our guys, in this instance, because it was combat, mostly guys, and gals are doing what you might expect, which is an excellent job of the best infantry there is on the planet. And there wasn't an aura in the broadcast of meaninglessness or purposeness, lack of purpose. However, when I saw the scale of the fights and I saw the terrain, it made me think of a big picture. And I'm not obsessed with microwaves and their effect on us, but I think it's negligent that we don't have a bigger and broader appeal to our overt consciousness as to how microwaves are affecting us all. So today's lengthy, unrehearsed ramble, if you will, maybe I'll call them a ramble. I don't know. That's obviously unrehearsed too. Anyway, today's date is October 1st. Now, by October 21st, there'll be little, there already are, but there'll be little first daily things that will be way less than a minute that will say what the new crayoning. Okay, well there's crayons involved. Crayano. Don't know. There'll be one per day, and there'll be a clue as to what it's about. And then there's going to be regular features, and each of the regular features will be about 21 seconds long. And every week, the regular features will have a new 21-second one. There'll be one for health, there'll be one for food, and then there'll be these TV shows like The Peoples and Bug City. And they'll be 21 seconds long. So if you can dash in and dash out and get a fix. Now, as to how I can arrange them in groups, I haven't figured that out because I don't even know how to read my email. I got R-rated head trauma. So, in this microwave bath, I don't get a chance. I saw a recruiting sergeant. Imagine he was a sergeant. Normally they are, but the recruiting office isn't busy in my town anymore. I'm told that it's slowed up. I'm glad Obama's president, but I don't believe that our commanders-in-chief have the overwhelming authority that they're supposed to have, and exactly when they did and when and how they do, say in recent history, and have had, without wanting to seem treasonous at all. There's a lot of politicians who say that they want to run for president, and they say, well, what are you going to do in the great big Middle East? And they say, I'm going to talk to my generals. Then it'll be their fault. They don't say that part. It rather reminds me of the evening news host person, that I watch, probably to the extent that it affects my neurological capacity to express myself, because I probably hear that person speak English more than I do anybody else on the planet now for some great long while. So, that all being mentioned, microwaves, employed, soldier, unemployed. And coming up on the 10-minute ramble limit for this machine, oh mine. Gratitude's all out there. More later. Happy October 1st, everybody.